123测试。
OK。亮度调亮一点，60，很快。为什么它没有中文的吗？不是它游戏名称是，你看游戏名称是中文，或者里面是英文。这里先说一句，只有简体，好吧，简体怎么样比那个简体怎么样也比其他的强。俄语、巴西、葡萄牙、西班牙、德语、意大利语、英语。我想说名称是中文，怎么没中文？这是音乐舞，是100，音乐40就好，35就好，音乐太大了。绘画字幕，OK， 我可以看，只要太影响就把它弄掉。字体大放大，差不多6应该就可以，多再调。这样应该字就够大了。新游戏故事正常。困难，超新星。哦，又是这种生存模式。定时睡觉，超麻烦，正常就好了。对白字幕开，就好 ，OK， 继续。
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
代逃，反殖民队队形。
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
OK， 减速，平均，敏捷，我智力是可以说服，感知是开锁，这也是说服。属性过低于平均会带来惩罚。
I'll have to use smaller words around you.
笨蛋对话很像。
Let's just hope you're handy with a gun. Nerve damage in your extremities. You're about as subtle as the Spacer's Choice mascot.
灯光秀减少。
Oh dear. Did you actually punch out your anger counselor?
非常高，减3点。
It says you had a habit of snarling at people.
加进站。
Your quick hands could get you hired by Sublight.
加爆伤。
I bet you could see right through the board's lies. If you were any more composed, you'd be a symphony. It says here that you solved mathematical problems just for fun.
Over. 下一页。大师。对付18。第一片。
We'll put those marksmanship scores to good use.
远程。黑客前路。
If you wanted to steal from the rich, you've come to the right
先见破
colony.
了，昨天就破了。先见昨天破。 没有值得一提的才能。远程跟显露。OK， 下一页。这是饮料服务器师官僚。非监管能源电工。医力、医学、科学，没有加什么枪的吗？好像没有增加攻击。当个嘴炮大知道说服。
Working your way up to provisioner?
行。过了。特征。好，下一页。诶，这边可以，可是它这应该不能换。对，名字还是只能打英文。有天赋。Go。
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend.
Please power down your engines and prepare to be...
Not likely, bootlickers. Initiate skip jump.
Status. Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down 20%. Hip drive
Shit.
inoperable.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take. Normally, reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully, I guess we'll see. Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck!
不会动。是黑曜石的作品。不然他这个之前的评价还是比较偏向小品，因为黑曜石还是比较小间的公司。
Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you.
Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship. Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
应该要蹲吧？蹲是哪一个？蹲。是。避免铺路。小犬怪，我要这样蹲着躲它。胆小犬。
Now, you've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
好来，LV， 搞这是不要这样跳。
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings.
医学舞。
Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help.
在跟我吃啥？
Oh, we're all part of the Spacer's Choice family here. Not that I deserve to be. Can't even deliver a company slogan. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right? Just barely scraped by with my life. Crawled in here and blocked off the exit with those canisters. Spacer's Choice policy clearly stipulates that dead and as good as dead are two completely different properties of matter. Unless I'm dead, I'm contractually obligated to attend to my post. I will report that illegally grounded spacecraft if it is the last thing I do. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side.
我是嘴炮流。
Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Yes, nailed it that time. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. We're a Spacer's Choice community. Edgewater's a little ways down. Prettiest place in the Vale. Be sure to stop by a provisioner's for a can of our famous salt tuna.
金枪龟。
The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Are you with Auntie Cleo or something? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo workers. Company policy.
我有枪，你这个手感觉有点。
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell? This...
枪，击杀敌人10点经验，好雷啊！战术时间膨胀。 我们就是缓慢战时间。RB， 还有个子弹时间。好麻烦啊！他能不能用键盘呢？这种拿枪我超不喜欢用手把玩。香蕉，带苹果，望远杖，望远，那是杖可以望远。 肉条我也是赛科嘞。我来一次，我拿键盘，我来看可不可以用键盘打啊。
晚上好啊。
那找一下键盘跟滑鼠。 我看看它这款游戏支不支援键鼠，好像。
昨天累翻到现在腰还在酸肿。
键盘可以，可是滑鼠好像没电，奇怪，滑鼠好像没电。对。 是自然而然做苦工呢？看一下，放个电池看有没有效。键盘可以，可是滑鼠
差不多表情符号大笑。
为什么滑鼠不会动？啊，键盘可以啊。滑鼠是坏了吗？这是控制。按了。我第一次看到有支援键盘没有支援滑鼠的。我键盘是可以动，可是滑鼠一点反应都没有。不会存档，我事实上是我滑鼠坏掉，还是这游戏有问题？好，我存了。我换一个原本键盘能用的游戏，按错了，多休息一下。先试一下原本，先开一下这个，
只能这样啦。
这已经没办法了。对啊，可以啊，滑鼠是正常啊，这个滑鼠会动，这代表我滑鼠没有坏啊。怎么会有那个游戏支援键盘不支援滑鼠的啊？这叫人怎么玩？正式进入游戏看滑鼠能不能正常？对啊，滑鼠可以啊，会，这可以看起来是正常的。好，退出。我这个也，我从头开，多看滑鼠能不能动。为什么没有滑鼠？为什么我做键盘能动啊？这是哪有那么支援起办的、啊？重点我要滑鼠，我不要键盘啊！这种游戏。 用蘑菇头瞄，有个不准的，好麻烦。为什么它滑鼠就一点反应都没有呢？对啊，它键盘都有反应的，滑鼠一点反应都没有。多人枪、刀刃刀、人杖，要怎么切换？6、3、4。对对。
滑鼠不是拿来瞄准的吗？
不是啊，它不能瞄准，没有用啊，不会动啊。滑鼠，它就键盘能用，滑鼠不能用啊。我第一次看到那个游戏支援就这一半了。对，它脚不，它不支援键盘也不能走。Google 看看有没有怎么弄滑鼠好了。因为它 PC 版确定是可以有那个键盘滑鼠，因为那是 PC 版。可是它 Xbox 版看起来就只有一半。
我装来试看看。
电脑是确定是可以的，可是那什么那个 Xbox 就
我 PC 版的
PC 版一定是可以用，只要会 PC 版不能用滑鼠那种玩。对，我看一下有人问这个问题，看一下人家怎么回。
该不会要用 Xbox 手把吧？
一样他说没有用，不是，他是说可以用键盘玩游戏，可是无法识别滑鼠。
又类比。
对，所以看起来滑鼠不能用。好，我讲旧的游戏就是这样，旧的游戏资源性其实都没有那么好，可是新的游戏就可以了，滑鼠键盘资源就好了。
你有手把吗？
用手把，因为我刚查了那个美国的那个论坛，他们也是说只有支援键盘，没有支援手把，只有键盘没有支援滑鼠啊，不一直乱讲那种。
Get over here before you get yourself killed.
所以除非我要用 PC 版的那个啦，的那个Xbox APP 啦，应该就可以。
Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing pad. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physicians. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury that's made Spacer's Choice the most trusted brand in personal defense. I just, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
因为它现在比较麻烦，就是早期的游戏对于键盘资源其实很差，就是 Xbox。 对，像刚那个比较新的那个，那一款叫什么？换想，比较新的这一款就有那个和之心，和之心用键盘号就用键盘号是完全没问题。可是《天外世界》这2019游戏就开始就不行，资源性就几乎没有。
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we cross those marauders off, find whoever owns that ship, and file a full report. Then it's gonna be fucking laminated.
Here we go.
Here we go. 就只能用这个蓝的手把在那边瞄准。难怪他有设计一个那个，就是这种暂停。这 AI 是挺准的啦，这普通 AI 就直接直线冲过来。因为他这是黑曜石做的嘛，因为黑曜石之前是做那个一城余生，所以说他那个架构就跟一城余生差不多，蛮快上手的。
Please be informed that this vessel contains no valuable plunder. Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution against unwanted solicitors. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction.
自毁。
Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3,
不会，直接喷出去吧。
1. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment. This vessel is the registered property of Captain Alex Hawthorne. I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. Thank you for your patience and for your honesty. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? Well done, Captain Hawthorne. I see your powers of deductive reasoning remain intact. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. Our main drive suffered a critical power failure, and we were forced to make an emergency landing. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement falls within acceptable parameters of certainty. High-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed in the electrical networks of worker settlements. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new Captain's Identity cartridge. Please try not to lose it this time. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand? Thank you. I appreciate your cooperation. Best of luck in your search for a power regulator. Try to stay alive this time.
升级。可是这种拿枪的游戏，就是用手把就是超硬。 先看。还原。好，应用。出去。
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, mister, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. I'm afraid we gotta dock your pay.
太空船安全检查员，暴力。
Oh, by the law. I'm so sorry. I had no idea we had an inspector coming. If you'd like to speak with my manager, I report to Constable Reyes in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to inspect the crime scene before I make my report.
所以说，这一类游戏之嘴炮是最重要的，嘴炮搞定一切。 我就拿刀好了，我声音刀，快狂要吃我一刀啊
Something there.
瞄不准我就用砍呐、近战跟你砍，总不会砍不到啊！这里是，咦，我溜那么快，开始，想跑，吃我一刀了，瞄不准的时候就用刀子给你砍。
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
Come on. 按这厚重的防具，可用专长点数。 强硬之辈，直接50%的生命值，这么凶呢？应用慢速世界。 我血就直接加50%。
Miss Holcomb, I need you to
对我
explain this lesson. The grease monkey,
希望到
Argo.
说那个星空要支援
Sorry,
键盘滑鼠，
Thompson, sir.
没支援，
You asked
可
why.
能就用电脑玩。
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up.
这种
I do
游戏用
apologize.
手把玩
I
真的
was
太
given
痛
no
苦。
forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
把自己跑熟。
Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. His legs were still twitching when we buried him. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
基本废弃。
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters. Former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Good law, no, I don't want you killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But I am ready to make amends if they are willing to return to the fold. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
同伴增加资源，变上限跟负重，还有机。同伴跟我一起。
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk?
Talk 过什么？
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
去找牧师好了，冲啊！牧师在哪？
Sorry, I'll just be a minute.
这里。
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakono handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious? I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. On the contrary, my position means that I am one of the few legally allowed to possess such items. But do not worry. You'll be safe since you are acting on my behalf. I can assure you, you won't find another willing to risk imprisonment to possess this book, nor anyone willing to pay the price I can offer. Glad we see eye to eye.
或许拿书卖给别人啊，嘿嘿嘿，怎么不选这个表情符号大笑？
我选啊，
我
选啊，只是他说没有人要出高价了，所以就没办法卖给别人。他就没有说没有人要出高价，就没救了啊。地图在哪？后面，就是这里。翡翠谷。我怎么觉得越来越远？它的这个不会吧？我在这样不对啊！那我要去北边的，从北边门出去，这只会从南边门出去就要绕一圈，神经病！那我从北边门不是比较快吗？不顺。
Sure. Okay.
我就按错了。
Yep, be right over.
在插图的左侧在哪里？右边，然后右边。怎么都是人？妈叫我来肉搏就是。啊？哎呀，这种不好瞄，用刀印 A 真的是有点困难的。是想要用滑鼠就可以慢慢蹲过去，一直狙。用刀子就是。
电机在玩928要出的伊苏 X 先行版有海战。
海战。竟然还有海战，有点夸张。山洞。 有点难捡。鲑鱼柳，2小时能量精量。不能被看，做坏事不能被看见。我在另外一边。看看73、320轻机枪。哦，感觉是猛的哦。
Nice one.
诶，谁在打我啊？而且我好像完全没有打到人，刚那个准心好像完全没有打在人身上。准心好像100%没打中人。想说怎么刚打那么枪，打那么多枪都没死，血都没掉。我还不习惯他这个准心，没打到人。哪了比较好？没有。我准心没准。这一只不是300多吗？这那假火力啊！明面上看起来300多是在垒啊。哦，狩猎步枪。 下。53，突袭步枪。就滑鼠不好瞄我应该要选一个近战流对，那近战流很怕被打死。我觉得它就可以拆这类就没有。竟然不能拆炸弹，被骗的。被炸的满头包。真的不能拆吗？还真不行。他这游戏嘛，不给拆炸弹。被炸翻天了。江一特战路不远，这一把枪没啥子弹。地热发电厂，机械体哨兵。有种来！
索尔大安安。
安呢？这不要搁着。没子弹，完了！可恶，这有个人有硬呢。我这伙伴现在还来是怎样？我都要被打发，我们伙伴姗姗来迟。
画面底 Fallout 4号。
正常啊，Fallout 4是2016，这是2019的啊。 他讲比4号室插花，这就完蛋啦。A 课已开锁。他这个比4号室新那么多，对，他家脚比4号室还要惨的话，那就完了，惨到不行。180、173，
满满的 Fallout 感。
毕竟黑曜石也是做 Fallout 出，早期的 Fallout 也都黑曜石做的啊，所以说毫不意外哦。
索大放弃之前那款航海了吗？表情符号大笑。
那个是封测啊，封测只要了解架构就好。封测玩一玩再多也是没用啊，还不是时间上是没用。没死。
所以开服你会玩吗？
再看看吧。
什么航海？
就那个啊，前天玩的那个，很像大航海时代的那个游戏啊。什么黎明之海？名字叫黎明之海。因为我之前那是我之前有参加封测预约，那他就是寄信来通知说开服，我就试试看。因为他之前有那个就是封测的那个预约报名，我有去报。3、4、17，17。我整个重装起来。
我还在玩韩服大航海。
是哦。就是专玩那里面，它的架构就跟那时就一模一样。自动贩卖机，这里。20级以上自动将物品出售废品。有刀子，哨兵军刀。哨兵刀蛮多，哨兵刀。金手枪，斩麦刀，为什么这14、28差这么多？28、14、50，看起来不都一模一样哦。大铁锹。啥鬼啊？他有没有卖厉害的啊？320、180没有。好像没东西。精英部队护甲。 快点要到40。8点了，然后掉过去。
Three switches. That'll be easy enough.
封锁。这龙档。自走机械光感知，只是它这个终端机就比那什么波奥的那个好看多。波奥那个终端机真的是真的很难看清楚。好像还有。我看有1点，应该还有。谁打我？我只是想要偷偷捡个东西，我差点被打到歪头了。这把武器很强，是强，又没子弹，麻烦。
Two more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Veil?
You're not real. You're not real.
Not real. 有人在讲话，不知道在哪里。工作台，改装升级。我升级没子弹，呼吸步枪，啥都没，什么魔幻都没有，不能做的吗？哈哈，但是竟然不能。我会不会用做的？我需要子弹。我需要子弹，可恶，没有子弹。子弹在哪里？这个可以关吗？ 没有子弹烦，零了，30。
Unexpected sweeping view.
哇！我给我一把枪用子弹的啊！这么晚，这2把。我没有一把枪，实际上能量，我有能量枪吗？中，轻。失踪，没有一把枪用子弹，这怎么玩？哦，拼！我后面惨到我只能用近战的打，这么玩啊！那个怪几乎不带有子弹的啊，就钱而已，也没啥补给的地方。上面。
Last.
什么都有，就是没子弹。可他是不会来一个什么子弹盒这种的吗？太整了，对吧？有了，终于有一个子弹，弹药。50米。
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, listen. Sorry, I know you're in a hurry. I know you want your power regulator and all. I just feel like we should go talk to Adelaide. If we're gonna kill her power, least we could do is give her people a fair warning. Oh, well, thanks. I mean, you're welcome. But I mean, I appreciate you hearing me out.
聊一聊在哪里？就是他说聊一聊，我要说人在哪里啊？出去啊！他说找人聊一聊。电池。怎么来的？怎么出去？对，不对。ESID。他说聊一聊，那我就是找到人。在哪里？他的有我在哪里？大家都叫我找人聊聊，根本就没看到人，我跟谁聊啊？阿德莱德。 所以说我是没有去问，我就是直接去解那个电厂。看起来要绕过去。哇，找什么阿德莱德？
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. Yeah. Go ahead and enjoy the...
Oh, gosh. If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear. It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives.
You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
因为他这个脸变成怎样？我根本就不知道要先去找这个，怎么找错了？不行。牧师那个给解了。牧师。
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Any progress on that matter we discussed? Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Well, yes. But I assure you, it was not for personal gain, only for the greater good. I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome the truth, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal. Philosophism's a false religion that stands in contradiction to almost everything we know to be true. They believe all is chaos, in stark contrast to OSI's belief in the plan. But most of the philosophist perversion of Bakonu's thoughts came more than a century after his death. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew. Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well. Well, understanding computers is, though I admit I took it further than most. And I was quite the 32nd back during my penitentiary term. Left many an opponent bleeding in the prison yard. Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied? Fantastic. Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Captain. Ủa sao luôn?有2个，我不能快速移动吗？等一个，我只是想要快速旅行的，它是一直卡。麻烦呢，我点都是这设计也不好，完全点不到下面那个快速旅行。等一下，这里，这里。缴费电率。 去。100多。
Why are all the lights off? The power's out in the whole town. Pipe down.
Okay, keep them quiet.
真的可以偷。
Are we getting paid or not?
Any loss of productivity will be deducted from your pay.
哦，你为什么下去？ 哪里有跪下去？有封锁，这里。
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters: plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence. Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
都会不会威吓他？好像不行，威吓不了。
Incoming!
不小心得罪他，有人选啊。刀一个，要一个小朋友，小心啊，降低很溜。溜会。把这先溜出去再讲。不要把 战术性的膨胀速度。对，快速。对目标快速不行，冲过去，来，我在讲。
I used to skip rocks in the river, so Constable Reyes ticketed me for unlicensed terraforming. I think she was jealous. She don't know how to skip rocks her own self.
都先啊，4+20应该速度快很多。哎呦！不应该嘛乱跳，我们这把是跳死。逃，快逃！
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
李德，我没有干掉李德。
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, mister. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
这
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable.
What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders. Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
调节器。畅行无阻。哇，我才跳这一下就。
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
We
have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the Hope. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
我先去拿那个店长是什么？水中器、元气瓶。是可以进去禁止进入的地方。
Captain Hawthorne used to be more dashing.
专场。行走速度，万数世界，类地心2，一封信。吃苦了。接下来我要去什么？很认真看。辟地者号，辟地者号，那就已经，我现在是类第2，在。
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
瞬间就到了。
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson? I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Gosh, no, Captain. I aim to stay so long as I'm welcome. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over wireless or by message. And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit her sometimes. But only when you don't need me with you. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
两个，继续，2个一起上。
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies.
柯蓝宝石红酒，这不是。
Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. These halflings are stuck.
Customs and inspection, right this way. Identification, please. Everybody's got an ID. Oh, let me guess. You, left it in your other pants? I hear that one a lot. I'd tell you no one's fallen for that line in about 30 years. Then, I'd take the safety off my gun and kindly ask you to move along.
It's a good thing he didn't say that then, right? Right, sir?
Sure, kid. Right. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. You can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. Not gonna lie, you're in a pickle. But Udom's an interesting guy. Might be y'all could come to accords if you play your cards right. Huh. Records show this ain't the first time your ship's been impounded. Seems to get cleared up pretty quick. You might not be in this pickle for long. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? You noticed, huh? What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't share, not bits, people, or resources. You work for them, or you don't work at all. Groundbreaker cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their ranks, and we sure as shit ain't about to do that. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new Groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though. Are you pulling my leg? You got a funny sense of humor, friend. Can't say I much get it, but I admire your commitment to the bit. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. That group's what we now call the board. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bays. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirtside, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself. Glad to help. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
If you're thinking to make a career here, don't waste your time. Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Keep it in the family, you know. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. All right. The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreaker's not the most hospitable port in the colony. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't care for Groundbreaker much. Not that he would, being a board man and all. He's our liaison. Sure thing. Be seeing you.
一大堆情报，自动售货区，做废品，赚点钱。
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from.
Why not be distracted by the glare of the adverts? Lots of unsavory types about.
贝尔枪械店，我觉得没有钱买什么枪械。
Go back to Byzantium, Nicole.
Have you seen this man? Reward offers for information needed to the capture of your insurance.
Can we talk?
Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. I heard we had someone in impound. Wish I could help. I gave the bureaucrats a motive authority over freight traffic, and it rankles them good when I challenge it. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry.
Not a problem, Captain. Ask away. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. You must not have been here long. In Halcyon, new parts come by way of interstellar freighters from Earth, and the board monopolizes that kind of trade. That means I'd have to negotiate with the board. I've already given them the shops, the docking fees, and a damn embassy. Damn right. And while I'm captain of the Groundbreaker, it falls to me to preserve this ship's independence. Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts. I have. One of my engineers, plus a small security detail. They didn't come back. I can't afford to lose any Mardits on this job. No offense, but a freelancer like you is more dispensable. Mardits are descended from the original Marine detachment that crossed the void with Groundbreaker. I don't put their lives on the line if I can avoid it. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
What do you think you're doing? Just don't make any trouble for me, okay?
这个是我偷窃啊，我按错了。不小心按错，按到偷窃，我就可以捡。后仓。
Hey, Miss Red, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. You stumbled into my court without an invitation, neighbor from above. If you don't have any business, then it's time to light up the grill. No one turns their back on me while I'm holding court. Get 'em, boys!
You die.
Are we done?
哇，他这个太多了，有的数值不够，说服跟维和都不够，没办法，直接用嘴炮。
Captain, if I could trouble you for a moment of your time, while we're on the groundbreaker, I may have an idea for how we could find a translator. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question. Fortunately, we're in the perfect place to start. This is where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest to track the Philosophist's off-world destination. Thank you, Captain.
如果这样，我要怎么威吓这一类的，我就根本没办法处理。自动变虚弱，我只没有拿到那个枪。人命关天，哪里？
CNP Borstworth. It's not the worst unless it's worse.
I'm not going anywhere, you hear? You can't keep me out of there.
Please, Senhill.
这是什么平台的
Can't
游戏
say？ I've seen you
他
before.
爸是
I take it you're a freighter captain? If you're here to
所以他
better
电脑也
yourself,
有
you'll have to wait. We're having a spot of trouble with our delivery service.
对，是 PS 也有啊，PS Steam 做Xbox 都有，多平台。
He must be referring to Irion. I'm sure the fool's gotten himself into another scrape. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. Our delivery man. A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Sometimes by dates, usually by bandits. Surgery mostly. Medical personnel are difficult to come by on Groundbreaker. The board won't let their doctors and nurses station here, and they own all the medical schools. If we can't hire their people, we can't hire anyone. Everyone on staff here on Groundbreaker was trained by me or Idris. We're good, don't get me wrong. But we've only 2 heads between us, and we don't know everything. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. We need his delivery soon as yesterday. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla, an asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. That's where I'd start, were I the adventuring type. You look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
我没有武器呀，可恶！因为它不是有武器店吗？这里枪械店，看可不可以买点厉害的。
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? Ah, that's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications I'd be happy to show you. Why, it gets you the weapon best suited for your lifestyle.
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Self-improvement, including one's weapons, is always a worthy endeavor.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. Perfectly serviceable. But what if you like finesse? Slap a scope and silencer on that bad boy. Bunker down in a bush someplace and pop off heads. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Extended ammo magazine and a barrel heatsink to bump up rate of fire. Only takes a bit of elbow grease and a spot of engineering know-how. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. Ours is in engineering. You could take your new toys over there if you feel like tinkering. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it, the originals tend to snap like plastic toys.
装上去拆起来就坏掉。
Right here for a start. I got a fair selection. Modified weapons are my specialty. A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARRANTIES tops the list. So, what can I get you?
商业技能动量技能最高数值有没有快的枪啊？榴弹、枪重机枪、见证加农炮、逃亡者手枪。 我没有，怎么拿不到那个等离子步枪啊？ 啊，所以说一开始的基地有一堆东西可以拿，我都没，啥都没拿到。
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew I mean, the Scholar shipped in and out with.
通过打算。学习。学习目是要怎么？特殊能力，学习完全看不到怎么弄。完全没有说明说怎么弄。S 人。
Quietly now.
全息荧幕到底要怎么上？全息完全没有说明啊，只说你可以用，可是没有跟你讲你要怎么弄。不行。对付的是地方。
This might be tough.
走。为什么不会出来啊？为什么不会出来？哦，它都进去之后会自动死。
That's impressive.
There it is. Just yank the drive. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
What was that?
Stay sharp. This is going to be difficult.
Open fire!
为什么还是被太懂？他不是不用用吗？
The drive and Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up. Incoming.
Okay, we got this.
我们还是被抓到啊！奇怪，感觉是那个走动的人会看到。我全时都没什么用。
Just yank. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
Oha, probably. 往外溜。就是就躲那个会走动的就有了。
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall somewhere he wasn't supposed to. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook, rented to the same bit card he used to buy his seat on the salvage ship. I should have guessed. What better place to lay low if you wish to avoid the authorities? Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. Was a bit of a long shot, wasn't it? I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in contemplation of the universe's secrets, you sometimes get a sense for these things.
热气5件。2里，应该写上。
Ah, the board. Organized, efficient, competent.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. You must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. and you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now if you're captaining it. It's a game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells, he tells me he will soon. I impound his ship, he explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go. Right, you're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? You haven't read the posters? He's a terrorist, a thief, a madman. It's really in the colony's best interest that we stop him before he does further harm. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? It's personal business, I'm afraid. Miserably, terribly personal. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. Well, it's my white whale, I suppose. It's fine. Really, it's perfectly fine. I understand. Now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out. I'd like to drown myself in work. Be my guest.
Oh, good law! Who'd want to go to that toxic hell pit? Law, but it's miserable. My underarms are damp. How can I be expected to work in these conditions? Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into the cause, but I've seen no action from her. Deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that.
She's doing everything she can. It's your people's fault it's not fixed, not Junlei's.
My, aren't you, excitable. Oh, sweetie. I don't owe a grease-stained wrench jockey like her the time of day, let alone my deference. I'm sorry, my temper got away from me. Please accept my sincerest apologies to you and your friend.
Oh, I'm not used to folks saying sorry. It's not all right exactly, but I appreciate the apology, I guess.
Well, now that that's dealt with, was there anything else you wanted to discuss? A luxury stateroom reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Oh, good law, of course not. He'd never set foot on this decrepit junk pile. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be maintained for the chairman's exclusive use. I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I'm their eyes, ears, and busy little hands. I have few complaints. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. Aren't their guns very large? Tremendously impressive. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. They don't see it that way, of course, but I can't say I much care. Ask away.
行， 也是。那第0时。
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet. Real light on the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune.
Yeah, I'll pay.
Laws. Maybe I should charge you double. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. I appreciate a man who knows one when he hears it. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Neither do mine, dearie. Old Gladys knows the value of good work. You'll be compensated accordingly, I can promise you that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar.
I don't know, ma'am. She seemed pretty neat to me.
Well, aren't you sweet? And just her type, too.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
Forget I said anything. Yes, dearie? Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
Just 说服事实，这样有没有办法下了？后伤，刚刚快就开打了，看这边来行不行？脚素质还是不够，就这些生气。下面。
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Look at this, right? Time to...
Is it...
You came... I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. We were just sitting in a circle, sucking down You don't just ask a king for a favor when... Tribute it is.
Don't we need those bits, Captain? To buy the key from the lady?
The principles of the universe...
You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the... Lay it up. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were... That's bureaucracy for you. Piracy with a smile. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank. Ship got it. That's... You can come and...
Even the proverbial unwashed masses would turn their noses up at this place. Cut them off.
See?
Can you imagine being frozen for 10 years, sailing through space in a room such as this?
上面，这怎么上去啊？上面，这里。
This place is falling apart.
Can't spell groundbreaker without broken. Oh, wait.
Fantastic, we've got them. Now we can move on to cleaner pastures.
这直接走上来，我们爬。因为他是他 A 掉600多，武器不够，直接帮付一堆钱。
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly...
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation. More than a few. Less than a hive. Nothing you can't handle. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside. They got into the radio. If every repair was a one-woman job, I wouldn't need... You can flip a switch for me, but you can't install these...
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super...
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
要进去还要对付什么斗？这么多兽。哇，没打到。怎么打啊？ 我完全看不出来谁在 K 我。
Good news. Song tells me that security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. The diagnostic sensor circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
封锁怎么去？
Here they come.
对，他是说有机器人可以打败这个兽，说机器人要敌我不分，是恶搞的吗？这是，我的机器人打败这个兽，是我不一定要去跟他贴。
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that means, just look for... Done. The temperatures are dropping.
Oh, sweeping.
Found your way out of there.
我打啊！啊，等我，不。去啊！啊！哪里呀？
Seeing you limping a bit. You all right, Mr. Vicker? Need us to slow down?
What are you implying? I am perfectly fit. My knee is just acting up.
There's no shame in being older, Mr. Vicker. Don't worry. The captain and I will take care of you.
I need neither your advice nor your pity, young lady.
Advertisement for the following story.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
3000多
You're right, I don't. The board is after two things, bits and power, and they only get it by sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy if I could kick out the corporate merchants and reclaim the docking fees in my lifetime. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the wrong direction. I'd like to see that change. I like to think of myself as a nice person, but if that gaudy embassy of his was on fire, I might hold my breath a moment before activating the sprinkler system. The board wants control over Groundbreaker, and leeches like Udom Bedford will do anything to please their corporate masters. You've got my attention. Frustrating. Everything down to the circuit boards is past warranty, so I have the pleasure of making life or death decisions on a shoestring budget. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document fixes in a way that anyone outside the family would understand. You see any bite-sized Tennyson children running around? I didn't think so. The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to foster that talent from somewhere. It's only a question of when.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I'm really just a dab hand with a wrench. Nothing special. Not like a chief engineer.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. Just someone who knows how a ship ought to feel. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way around this labyrinth of ducts and panels, we could work something out. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people. To have taught you all you know, I mean. Which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer. It was different knowing that I couldn't turn to anyone who could answer the tough questions for me. Maybe you can see why I'm protective of Groundbreaker. This ship is family. It's got tinkerings and bypasses that only Tennysons know about. I hope that was a joke, Captain. I really do. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan or Spank. Family recipe. You've got my attention.
智慧装置
This is Halcyon.
大陆朝天
We interrupt your regularly
要去
scheduled
哪里？
advertisement for the
C&P chicken and potatoes.
It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Anytime.
这也不是啊。本书要玩，直接走回去。
No one saw me trip over that, right?
我会。
Have either of the assault cruisers
Hey, you got a second? Hey, we don't know each other yet, but I'm Felix Millstone. I was in the middle of a little discussion with the local authorities when you passed me by. I noticed your ship in port. Got to thinking you might be looking for some crew, so I wandered by, just to take a closer look. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, I absolutely am. Just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could be the best damn crew you ever hired. You're serious? You're giving me a shot? All right. Hang on. I put together a little speech, just in case you asked. Hey there. I'm Felix Millstone. I have prepared a list of reasons why I believe you should hire me to join the crew of your ship and/or outlaw gang. Yeah, it's a second draft. Firstly, I am highly personable, and I get along well with anyone who is not of the jackass persuasion.
Sorry. He's funny.
Secondly, I can be counted on in the event of a firefight, standoff, and/or raid. My motto is, if you need a steady gun hand, I'm your man. That motto is it's a work in progress. Additionally, I have several years of experience as a box hauler. This skill may come in handy if you need a body dragged away or a door held open while escaping enemy fire. In conclusion, thank you for considering me for your ship crew and/or outlaw gang. I look forward to our adventures together.
I thought that was real good, Felix.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. What do you think? Am I in? The fun kind? I mean...
How about we just say we're trying to do good?
Wow. You don't know how long I've been waiting to hear that. Thanks, boss. You're not gonna regret this. I'll just gather my personals and meet you on board. This is gonna be great.
You got a crew now, Felix.
上船梅普号。
Well, I did not expect you back so soon, Captain.
Hey, Captain. Can I get your temperature on something real quick? What? No. If it were, I'd be hollering loud enough to wake the dead. So, Junlei and I have been talking some. Through messages. I got him here on my datapad, and well, she sent me a poem. One she wrote her own self, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems are all symbolic and such, right? It's not so good. But real sweet. She rhymed compression alternator with aches to meet her. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and lays one hand on it. The trouble goes away. It sings. I don't want to get too hopeful, but I'm wondering if maybe she's the engine and I'm the lady? It's a real romantic poem. It made my chest hurt, kinda. I don't know where it's leading yet, or if I'm misinterpreting. I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. Leastways not like other folks seem to be. It's not that I can't, I just don't care for it. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale, they said I was cold. Thanks, Captain. I actually had another message from Junlei. Let's see here. Talking about old friends, They were close, Captain. I don't know. Junlei talked about them like, Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Thanks, Captain.
环保虫有不要内地新。
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
拿个东西就存档。哦，这两句。左右。这里，进不去。打手。他说突袭步枪是这一把。捡到突袭我有了，我有突袭步枪了。
Show me how you did that.
这里等离子步枪。高效日记。就将成功拿到，就改成等离子步枪71，为什么？为什么是红的啊？奇怪。等级6调为等级8。蓄力之后就可以打出大攻。试试看，蓄力也不对。对，真架就直接把蓄力弄掉，不然找一个人来打。好像有人。哦，一击必杀。还是被发现了，想说偷袭一下，没偷到，偷2只。没有突袭步枪，突袭步枪不难拿。 这是大只狼，我想要这样可不可以把它撸死？太多了，想要偷一只，没他妈冒一堆出来。蒙古猿的大脑，刚刚打好几只啊，怎么我尸体都不见了？对，刚明明 KO 掉好多只就尸体嘞。只有我第一只抽级成功的有，后面就不见了，后面是换你的是谁？恶搞了吧，就不见了。那一只后甲跟武兽，他们就通通消失。
Take him down!
I don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
这个枪的果然猛，以往根本就是发一个，对，选择了。
Wow! You put those marauders in the dirt quicker than the masked marketeer. Teach me your ways. Only thing unscrewed around here is the head of that marauder you took down. Never seen moves like that outside my serial dramas. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. I'm great at clarifying. No. I insinuated my... I may have bartered the... I don't know. Oh, you mean around these guys? I got kicked out of Edgewater on a... I'd heard some outlaws set up camp in the botanical... Instead, what do I find? But a bunch of former... I've got...
哎，随便开随便演。开了之后你又没东西，太亏吧？我花道具开锁就没东西可拿。亏到炸开了，哦，超负荷。这样 量超负荷的话，就是要点转场。人行客。过重。哦，不行。如果过重，东西没卖，这，哎呀，辐射系是麻烦了。那前导就过重。哦，组员的巢穴。不要去跟他们对打。这重的要命，我就直接先走到那个发电厂有贩卖机卖掉再讲。那好像有出现敌人的血条，可是又不见了。我走这里。又去电厂。被放在这里，全卖，5星给要卖，卖。刀子。板子，墙，关刀留一把就有了。自动弹夹、手枪、突袭步枪，我有2把，3把。这把卖。军刀卖1把。 靠锤子。你减1共人家15，这样我重量呢？库存重量是多少？9%100，我很重。每次这个我要这个没事，这个2个叠在一起就会一直去对那个主线笨的。
Was I built to feel ennui?
存档，明天再玩。好了，今天先实况到这了，大家晚安啦，拜拜。
今天先实况到这，大家晚安，拜拜。